Hello, hello. All right, I don't think there's anyone here yet, so I'll just give it a few seconds and hopefully somebody's going to join. Oh, all of a sudden I see there's seven of you. So if one of you could give me a sound check and let me know you're hearing me okay, that would be amazing. Hello. Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. Hopefully, the internet is going to play ball today. I've had no issues at all day, so we should be fine. And if you weren't here yesterday or are watching this on the replay, I had a bit of an internet catastrophe yesterday afternoon trying to go live, and my internet just completely dropped. No reason for it, just died. Um, yeah, so I'm back today because I did have a few things I wanted to share, and I have been sewing like all evening yesterday and this morning. So I have a finished item to share, which is amazing. Hello, Christine and Brenda. Awesome. Hi, Renee. Oh, hi, Sherry. Kelly. Eileen. Carol loves to sew. Hi. Yeah, Kelly, just, the internet is, I've never had issues here, which is, I'm in Montreal. It's not like I'm in, very far into the country or anything. Usually no issues. I work from home a lot of the time, never have problems. And of course, the day that I want to go live, the internet has issues. Oh, well. All right. So I'm not going to go back on everything we talked about yesterday, but I do want to share what I got finished about an hour ago, and I'm super happy with it. This is going to be another garment that's going to be part of my module one. So that's going to be my very first workwear module. And there's going to be a video coming out on this in a couple of weeks. But I made another knit-knee top with a gorgeous rayon from Beyond the Pink Door. Look how gorgeous this fabric is. And I have to say, I was just looking at it and I got really lucky because print placement could have gone horribly, horribly wrong with these big flowers, but I'm fine. The fit is good. It's comfortable. Absolutely love this top. So yeah, yay. It's going to go really, really well with my black work trousers. I've got a pair of Parker Ponte pants in like that burgundy color that I think it's going to be really, really pretty with. Super excited about my finished top. And I have to say, this week's been difficult. I haven't been sewing a lot, and I felt like I was losing my sojo a little bit. But finishing this top has just, yeah, plus I'm feeling a lot better. I was sick all week and I'm feeling really good now. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that is the itch to stitch pattern, Kelly. And after the live is over, whatever I talk about, I'm going to go back into the video description box and put links for you. So, if you don't want to take notes or anything, that's fine. I'm going to go back in and put all the links. So you'll just have to come back to the video probably in a couple hours and everything is going to be down there. So that is my finished top for this week. I did finish a knit top, a brattle top by Cashmerette much earlier in the week, and that's also good. So now my module one is complete. I'm going to be off all week. Hi, Sula. And yeah, I'm off all week this week. So probably on Monday, I'm going to take pictures of me in all of the different outfits I'm able to put together with my module one. And that's all going to go into the video that's coming out in a couple weeks. So I'm really, really excited. I've already started thinking about what my module two is going to be. And that one is probably going to be a more family gathering, lunch out with the girls, family barbecue type module because, and I think I was saying this yesterday, I have a ton of summer little parties and get together. Most of my family, our birthdays are in the summer months, so lots of little get togethers. So it'll be nice to have a module full of outfits that I can wear for those things. Because, and I'm guessing I'm no different from a lot of people. Um, I don't like to wear the exact same outfit to events that have the exact same people invited. Yes, I'm trying again, Diane, and it seems to be going well this time. So yeah, so that's module 1 all done. Module 2 in the planning stages. I've also got a really fun video coming out at the end of March where I'm comparing woven t-shirts. So I love a good knit t-shirt for the weekends and stuff, but in the summer when it's really hot, I find there's nothing better than a nice rayon tee, kind of loose and nothing sticking to you when it's really hot. So I'm going to work on comparing 3 of those woven tees, like in a battle type video, and let you know what I think of all 3. I have made 2 of them already. Um, but yeah, I want to remake them because I don't have any of them in my wardrobe right now. So yeah, so I'm going to be working on that. I've got the patterns. I keep looking over there because my cutting table is right there, and 2 of the 3 patterns are there now, ready to cut. So that's exciting. I'm really, really happy to be sewing with spring, summer in mind. I'm really over winter. It's really cold again here today. It was snowing earlier this morning. It's windy. It is now very, very sunny, but really cold, and I am over it. Hi, Erin. I was just watching your video, Erin, a little while ago. Been catching up with all of my sewing YouTubers today, just because I haven't done anything all week. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for me in terms of stuff I've got on the go in the sewing department. I would love to know what you all have been working on. So leave that in the comments. That'd be great. Christine, I would love to know if you finally took your projector out of its box and if you've played with it at all. If you weren't around yesterday, Christine got a new projector for sewing, and I'm really, really excited to hear more about it. Hi, Karen. All right. What else did I want to talk to you about? Oh, remember my standing tall quilt, this huge, huge bed-size quilt that I need to baste because the top is now finished. I have my backing fabric. Well, I was going to baste it this weekend, but it's so big. I don't know if you know this, but the way I baste, I don't get on the floor in my hands and knees and pins and things. I roll the quilt top and the backing fabric onto a long piece of wood, like a 2x1 or a 2x2 piece of wood. I roll both on there and then just unroll a little bit at a time and baste with needle and thread. I can do it up on a table. It just saves my knees. So the pieces of wood I've been using aren't long enough for the quilt top and the backing. So now I'm wondering if I should just send hubby to get longer pieces of wood, or if I wait until we open the summer house to baste it, because I know we have a lot of lumber over at the summer house and I could just go and pick through hubby's stash. But yeah. Right. Cool. Diane says she's getting ready to vend a steampunk show. So I'm making product, bustle, skirts, capes, and bags. Oh, that's so cool. Very cool. Christine plugged in her projector, not calibrated it yet. I need to locate our longer HDMI cord. So, so Christine, does that mean that every single time you use it, you'll have to also have your laptop on your cutting table, like next to it and plugged into it? So there's no like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi option? I was wondering about that. So yeah, so as much as I wanted to get my quilt basted, I'm not going to be able to. Maybe later on this week, hubby and I can go to the hardware store and just buy longer pieces of wood. But yeah, so that's a little bit disappointed because I have the whole week off and I was hoping I could baste and quilt the quilt so that it's all done. Oh, Christine says it does have Wi-Fi. Okay, cool. Hi, Carol. Oh, amazing to see all of you coming back today. I was afraid I'd just sit here by myself. This is awesome. Okay, Christine says for the initial setup, she's using the cord. Cool. All right. What else? Oh, I thought I would show you some of the pottery pieces I managed to get done in the intro class I took a little while ago. Some of you have asked to see them. Now, they're nothing earth-shattering. Obviously, this was my first go at it, but I do have a few pieces that I thought were really cute. Now, the first two were my first go at the wheel, so throwing. Now, I had a big ball of clay and ended up with just this teeny tiny little dish. So it went horribly wrong, and I think I was spinning the wheel too quickly, and my clay just yeah, kind of fell onto itself, and yeah, not good. But I have this little cute piece, little dish. I have slightly bigger dish, so this one went a lot better. I absolutely love the glaze on this one. So this is cute. And then I was getting much better, so managed to get this done. I love this one, and this is actually on my desk down here, and it's my pen holder. Love this. And then probably my favorite piece, and this was done with my hand, so this was hand building, a little knickknack dish or trinket dish. So I even put like my name in it, used a little stamp to put like a seashell inside of it. I absolutely love this little dish. And this has been on my dresser in my bedroom, and I put my jewelry in it before I go to bed. So yeah, and I love this green color. Absolutely love these pieces. And then I signed up, well, Marianne and I signed up for the 7-week class, and our first class was on Monday just past. And we're doing hand building. I'm not messing with the wheel this time around. I found it incredibly frustrating, to be honest. So we're doing hand building for 7 weeks, and I managed to get 3 half decent pieces done Monday night, but we're going to build onto it with coils, I think he called it. So I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving pottery. I'm now thinking everybody in my family who used to get a sewn item from me for Christmas is now going to get some pottery. But yeah, I'm loving it, loving it. All right, let me catch up with the chat for a bit. Um, Sherry is getting ready to go to International Women's. Oh, yay! Happy International Women's Day, everybody. Well, all of you who identify as women. That's amazing. You're a vendor there. So, what kind of like celebration is this? Is this like a fair? And you're vending, I'm assuming you're bringing your fabrics there with you? That is so cool. Very cool. Hi, Pamela. Carol loves to sew. I'm dithering trying to decide what fabric to cut out. I want to trial a Margot Pinafore for my niece. Ooh, who's that by? I don't know the Margot Pinafore. Cool. Thank you, everybody on the pottery. That's very sweet. Hi, Susan. Yeah, so I'm super excited about the pottery. I mean, I do have one more piece. It was a bigger kind of bowl with handles um, that did not turn out pretty at all. Like the glaze was pretty ugly, but hubby loved it, so it's now on his dresser and he puts his little knickknacks in it. But I thought it was like very rustic to say the least. So yeah, I'm really loving it. Sherry says there will be speakers and music, and yes, I have a display. Very cool. That's amazing. Nice. All right. Another thing I wanted to chat to you all about is a very small change I'm going to make to the channel. You might have seen it. I know a lot of you responded to it. I put a poll up on the community tab, I think last week or earlier this week, asking basically what you liked on the channel, like what type of content you got the most value out of. So, garment sewing, Friday sews, quilting, or other little crafty makes like mug rugs and bags, that kind of thing. And 92% of you come here for garment sewing or the Friday sews chat, and only I think 3% for the quilting. So I had started or I had kicked off a new quilt along on the channel in February. We had done one block. And these tutorials or those videos are a crazy amount of work. I mean, if you're a YouTuber and you do tutorials, you know that they take quite a few hours to put together and film and edit and all that fun stuff. So, it looks as though not very many people are getting value out of those quilting videos. So I'm just going to stop doing them. I will chat about quilting when I get up to it during the Friday Sews videos, but yeah, I'm not going to put any tutorials out there. I may still do the small projects here and there just because I love them so much, like little mug rugs or table runners or that kind of thing, especially around the holidays. But yeah, I'm not going to do the quilt along this year. So yeah, but nothing else. I know, Carol, you know what? I was thinking about you when I made the decision. I'm like, seriously, I finally get her to try it, and now I'm going to stop it. But yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's just you can make more of your wonky crosses and just turn them into a big quilt because your crosses were amazing. Kelly says, I wanted to make sure that I included the Think Pink unboxing and makes part of the garment sewing. Yes, yes. I know that a lot of you like the Think Pink unboxings, and only because I show you what I made with the fabric. So that's not going to stop. I really don't want to stash that fabric every month when it comes in. That it's almost like a challenge to myself to sew up that fabric immediately. Actually, it was funny because Carol and I were having a chat earlier this week, and she was saying the Think Pink unboxing and make for me is almost like the fabric wheel of fate for her. So I don't get to decide what fabric I get. All I get to decide is what I make with it. And then I make it right away and share it on the channel. And I just love doing that. Yes, a wonky quilt, Carol. Oh my gosh. Sherry, don't feel bad. It's all good. It's all good. Um, Susan says it would be nice to sew along with you on a live one day to chat and sew whatever, maybe for a project dress a girl dress. Ooh, that would be fun. That really would be fun. Yeah, I could easily do that on a weekend. I know weekdays are a little more difficult, obviously, because I work. Um, but yeah, I could definitely host a sew with me type of live. That really would be fun. Pamela says she enjoyed the quilt along last year, but got behind. I know. I hear ya. I'm participating in one quilt along every single year, and we're only in March, and I'm already behind. It's really tough to keep up with it. But you have all your squares cut, fabulous, and you plan to finish it. Great, amazing. Yes, Susan, that's so true. Very true. It would be nice. Just tell hubby that I'll be busy downstairs for a couple hours and just sew along with all of you. That'd be really, really fun. And yes, Sherry, we can make a bunch of Project Dresser Girl dresses. Yep. All right. So, that's it for the changes on the channel. I know that because only 3% of you really prefer the quilting content, it's probably not going to have a huge impact on the channel, but just thought I'd let you all know in case any one of you, like Carol, for example, were wondering where block 2 was at. Yeah. So, I'd rather spend time focusing on the stuff that most of you get a lot of value out of, and that I also enjoy sewing, obviously. No, you're not gonna see me less. I'm still gonna keep with the 2 videos a week. The quilting videos are actually were like an extra video, and that's another part of it. I don't wanna reduce the number of garment sewing videos I put out in a week. So Tuesday, Friday, I've been doing that for over 2 years now. You know, no matter what, I put a video out twice a week. And the quilting stuff was like an extra on a Sunday. I tried, was it last year or the year before? I tried to do 3 videos a week. Um, and yeah, I had to let that go real quick because working full time and then doing 3 videos a week was just too much. But yeah, 2 videos a week is a cadence and a rhythm that I like and it works for me. And thank goodness for Marianne who helps with the editing of all of my Tuesday videos. The Friday shows I do myself, but the Tuesday videos, it's all her. I send her all the clips, I send her all the pictures, and she creates the video for me, which is amazing. All right. All right. Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to have a Project Dress a Girl sew along at some point. That sounds amazing. Is anyone participating in So Frugal this year? Pamela wants to know. I decided not to this year. Um, yeah, and I mean, I don't want to come across as any kind of I really and truly believe that you get what you pay for in life. And with the body shape and body type I have, very few free patterns actually work without a lot of extra work. And although I was in the vlogger tour last year and the year before, I didn't sign up for it this year either. It's just a lot of research, and I don't want to recommend anything to you all that I wouldn't personally use or can get behind, even if it's a free pattern. So I decided not to sign up this year. But I'd love to know if anybody else here is either going to be on the vlogger tour or trying to make something from a free pattern and stash fabric. Yeah, Christine says if she has time at the end of the month, she'll sew up a free pattern. Are you going to sew something up for yourself or for one of your grandkids, Christine? Because I know there are a lot of free kids patterns. So that might be I don't sew for kids. I don't enjoy it at all. And my sewing time is pretty limited and I'm very selfish with it. I'd rather sew for myself or for Marianne as, payment for all the work she does on the channel. All right, Christine's going to sew for kids. Good plan. Susan says, I don't actually participate in challenges because I often can't make it in time, but I do it on my own time. I just started the Sew Over It Ruby skirt and Annie top for it, both free patterns. Oh, cool. Nice. Pamela says, or no, that's Carol, sorry. For me, being frugal is using up what I have and not downloading and printing more patterns. Yes, yes, exactly. Actually, I've been thinking about that a lot more when I was preparing for the Battle of the Woven Tees videos. I really didn't want to have to buy a new pattern. I have so many of like so many patterns. It's unbelievable. So I was really happy to find three patterns I already own to do the battle with. They're not new patterns. Um, like I want to revisit some of the ones I bought years ago and some of which I never even sewn up. So I agree. That's probably more frugal than just using up a new, even if it's free, a new pattern. Pamela, I plan to sew a project dress a girl dress for it for So Frugal. Cool. I may also try the Itch to Stitch. How do you pronounce that? Deba topper. I have to take a look at that topper because I remember when it first came out, I was like, no, not for me. But I want to take another look at it. Cool. Um, Whoops, my gosh. Brenda says, I prefer to sew for myself, but I have done a few things for my grandson, age 7, as he is so appreciative. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. That's another reason why I don't sew a lot for other people. Um, like the last few things I've made, I found that not that everybody needs to fawn over what I make, but if I use my hands and my time and my fabric to make you something, I'd like to see you use it. Um, and yeah, have a feeling that you at least appreciate that I did it for you. I mean, there's nothing, maybe it's because I'm a maker, but there's absolutely nothing better for me than getting a handmade present. It's just to know that the person, yeah, spent her time making something with me in mind is just the best thing in the world. And people who don't make things, people who aren't makers, people who would just rather buy, sometimes don't really appreciate that. Um, yeah, Christine's grandkids are the same way. They really they love it. I love when she talks about the grandkids and how happy they are to get something from her, and that's really, really cool. All right, Kelly says, I don't use my Instagram account, but I'm going to make seamwork handsy top if I can get it out of a remnant. I don't remember buying after an FBA on top of the curvy block. Okay, I can get out of a remnant I don't remember buying. Wow. That makes me laugh. I have patterns I don't remember buying. So, I have a Seamwork membership and I never make their patterns. I really, really should print out a couple of them and give them a try. I made them when I first started sewing garments again. So in 2019, maybe like right before the pandemic, I made a few seamwork patterns and they worked pretty well for me. So I really should give them another try. Stephanie says she agrees. I'm a selfish sewist because people don't appreciate your work. Yeah. Yeah. Which is fine. Those people get, purchased presents from me now for their birthdays and Christmas and that sort of thing. I save the handwork for people who I know are really going to appreciate it. Pamela says, I've sewn a few tops for my daughter and she wears them all the time. It makes me happy. I know. Like Marianne, I've made her quite a few garments now since we started this channel. And the garments I make her are always the ones she wants to wear. And she says she gets so many compliments at work when she wears something I made for her. And yeah, she loves it, loves it. And she's constantly now sending me links to patterns she finds or fabric she'd like, or if she goes shopping and tries some stuff on, she'll send me a picture and says, "Do you think you can make me something like this?" So yeah, I love sewing for her. Plus, she's, my gosh, so easy to fit and so easy to sew for. Christine says, I was wondering about seam work. I never pulled the trigger because I think they draft for tall. They do. They draft for 5'9", I think. Yeah. But funny enough, Christine, I've only ever made tops or trousers from their pattern, so separates. I've never had to shorten their tops. At least I don't remember shortening their tops. And yeah, their pants, the legs are really, really tall, but I don't remember there being an issue with the rise being super long. So, yeah, they do have, I think they have some free patterns, Christine, if you just want to give the block a try. Yes, Susan, exactly why, because the garments fit her really, really well and they're one of a kind, right? Like she goes to work in dresses and tops and blouses that you can't buy. So, yeah. You know, Carol, Marianne needs to learn to sew. I'm going to tell you a funny little story about my daughter. When she was in high school, I think this was her last year of high school. In art class, they had to make something as their final projects. It could be anything, but they had to make it with their hands. They could use a machine, like a sewing machine, but it had to be handmade. So she decided she was going to learn how to quilt. So I was thrilled. I even set up my sewing room with 2 machines. I got all the fabrics for her. We found an easy pattern that she could use, and she made all of the quilt top. She actually did a really good job. And then when it came to quilting it, she didn't want to quilt it at all. She decided to tie it. Now, I don't know if you all know what that means, but you basically just thread like yarn basically through your quilt top, batting and backing, and tie little knots on the top of the quilt. And she chose a minky fabric for the backing. So she had the minky, the batting, the top, and it was like a lap size quilt. So maybe, I don't know, 50 by 60. And she tied it all. She got an A plus in that class. And that was the last thing she ever sewed. She's like, "Yeah, this is really not for me. I don't enjoy this at all." But she used her quilt for years. I think it's in a box now because it was starting to fall apart. Like her quarter-inch seam allowance wasn't always super regular, and she didn't tie it close enough that the batting and stuff wouldn't fall apart. But she still has it in a box and she's super proud of it. But that was the first and last thing she's ever sewn. So yeah, and I've given up on, like I've hinted a couple of times, maybe I could teach you how to make your own clothes, or not interested at all. Sula says, ashamed to say I bought the autumn dress pattern from Style Arc 4 times. Okay, that makes me giggle. That's funny. Although, you know what? Pattern companies, when they sell you PDF patterns, really should tell you when you've purchased the pattern before. Some of them do, like I think Love Notions, you couldn't buy the same pattern twice. But come on, like they should know, like when you go see a pattern, or when you add a pattern to your cart, there should be a little warning that says, you've purchased this before, go here to download it, type thing. Oh my gosh. Susan says, I just found 2 patterns that I bought twice. You guys are hilarious. Brenda says, I made a Helen Closet Jackson hoodie for my oldest son, and he loves it. My youngest son wants me to knit him an Icelandic Lopi sweater. Okay, that is a lot of work. A lot of work. Sounds amazing, though. Sounds really cool. Pamela says, I'm thankful that Love Notion's website tells you when you've already purchased a pattern. Yes. Yeah, exactly. I know that's really, really good. Brenda says a big commitment. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Susan wants to know if my son still has his corduroy. He does, and he wears it, and he really, really likes it. So yes, and actually, it's funny because my other son, so Marianne's brother, my biological son, he's very, very tall. Like he's 6'4". He's strongly built, and finding dress shirts or just shirts in general that fit him like lengthwise is really not easy. So he's now hinting at, it would be great, mom, if you could make me a few shirts. So, and I would love to sew for him because he's another one who I know would appreciate it. But I'm like, okay, well, you go shopping for the fabric. You find the fabric you like, you buy like 2 meters of it, and then I'll make you your shirt, no problem. But yeah, my son does still use his corduroy overshirt. Actually, he wears it in like fall, spring as like almost like a jacket when he goes out. So I haven't seen it this winter, but I'm expecting that he's going to start wearing it as the temps go up a little bit. Uh, Barbara, is that how you pronounce this? Barbara? My patterns usually come from the thrift store, so don't normally have any duplicates. Oh, so do you get like big four patterns from thrift stores? And I've always been a little iffy about getting those because I'm always afraid pieces are going to be missing or that they're already going to be cut into. Although I guess you could check for that before you buy it. But yeah. Ah, see, Christine and I, that's why Christine and I are best buddies. We think alike. Sula, I have three daughters. Not one is interested in sewing. Isn't that sad, though? Not even to sew a button. Yeah, Marianne's the same. I have to hem pants for the folks in the families for my kids. They don't even want to hem their own pants. Replace buttons. Like, yeah. Okay, so they are often factory folded. So not cut into like brand new. That's so cool. Good morning, Justine. Oh, Justine's also bought a number of Big Four patterns from thrift store, all intact, folded. That's cool. I should go have a look. Christine says she doesn't even want to hem her own pants. That's funny. I used to hate hemming my own pants, but I have bought a couple of ready to wear, like work trouser types recently. And I'm short, I'm only 5'3". I always have to hem pants. And I used to take them to a seamstress to just get them done. There's one right next to my work. So I'd go in the morning, drop off the trousers, and then pick them up later on that day, and I really didn't mind paying, like, I think she charges $15 for hemming pants, and I was like, "Well worth it, you do it." But now on my Juki, I have a blind hem foot, and I finally figured out how to use the blind hem foot on my machine, and now I've hemmed 3 or 4 pairs of trousers, easy as pie. So so easy, in fact, that it got me rethinking the $15 I was being charged for hemming pants. But yeah, super easy. Diane says my mom sews and I've sewn on and off, but now on for the past 10 years or so. Yeah, that's how, yeah, I got into sewing. Now, my mom was never one to do any kind of crafting at all, but both my grandmothers were. So my paternal grandmother, my dad's mom, sewed. She had 13 kids. Her and her husband had a business, so she worked full time at the business and still made a lot of her own clothes and a lot of her kids' clothes. That woman was superwoman. And she was this tiny, I think she was like 4'11", this teeny tiny little woman. She was amazing. And my maternal grandmother does or did cross stitching. She sewed, she crocheted, she knitted. She was very, very crafty. So it skipped a generation because from the time I was about 7, I think, I've been wanting to make things. I would make my dolls' clothes. I would knit sweaters for my teddy bears. And then I stopped. The whole time I was a teenager, really not interested in anything crafty. And then when I had my first kid, when my son was born, I got back into sewing. So I made him some clothes. I made him like a baby quilt. I made some curtains for the nursery. And then I started sewing for myself a little bit, and back then, there were only Big 4 patterns, there was 0 indie patterns, and I just could never figure out the fit on me. I now know why, because I've always been busty, and I would buy the patterns that would fit my bust instead of my upper bust, so everything was huge on me all the time. It looked awful. So I just stopped sewing because I couldn't figure out how to make garments fit me. And I got into quilting, and that was in 2006, maybe. I got full on into quilting, like obsessed about quilting. And then got back into garment sewing in 2019 when I discovered all the wonderful indie pattern companies out there and could finally get stuff to fit me properly. So yeah, it's been an on and off kind of romance for me as well, Diane. And but I'm fully into it now. Pamela says she hates hemming her own pants. I have 2 pairs of ready to wear that I need to cut off and hem up. You do it, Pamela. You can do it. It's easy. It is a pain, but it is easy. Stephanie says, what are our kids going to do when we aren't there to fix everything? Yeah, they're going to pay to get it done, Stephanie, is what they're going to do. Hopefully, um, hopefully there will be people to pay to get this stuff done. It sometimes feels as though, although there was a resurgence of sewing during the pandemic, um, over the last couple of years, I've also seen a lot of sewing machines on websites like Facebook Marketplace, and now I'm thinking, are we losing sewists who've now gone to, do other things? Pamela's 410 still needs to hem everything. Yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. So it says, how did Marianne's friend like that shirt you sewed for her? She loved it. She was so, so grateful. She wears it all the time. So yeah, she was very, very happy and it fit her like a glove. So she's very happy. Sula also hates hemming pants. So most of us then love sewing anything from scratch, don't like to hem pants. I'm assuming that most of you here also don't love alterations and ironing, although I know Carol doesn't mind ironing at all. But let me know, do you like ironing clothes? Like after they're made and you wash them, do you like ironing your clothes? Because I hate it. Diane says, I found folkwear and Tina Givens patterns unused at thrift stores. Oh, wow. Okay. Christine says she recently hemmed her jeans, keeping the original hem. So easy. I showed them in my video coming in a few minutes. Oh, cool. Nice. I did that actually for a pair of, they weren't jeans. Were they jeans? Yes, they were jeans for my son. Um, and I used your tutorial, Carol, to shorten his jeans by keeping the original hem. Super easy. Sula, continue patterns to thrift stores, perfect conditions. Oh no, you've got Bear now right behind you, who's okay. You need to come down, my love. He's rubbing on the computer because you're on the computer, and he's rubbing, like, his face on the corner of the computer, so I wouldn't be surprised if perfect condition. Okay, so everybody's managing to find patterns in thrift stores. I need to go there. I really do. So Carol says, "Me too, Christine. I love doing it that way and keeping the thread the same." So that's about hemming jeans, I'm assuming. Very cool. And Sherry says, "Oh my, I would be rich if I got paid 15 for hemming." Well, I don't want to devalue the work of this seamstress, but also her little store, studio, whatever, is right smack in the middle of downtown Montreal. The rent cannot be cheap. So I don't blame her for charging $15 for hemming pants. Susan says, random question. I just became aware of Annie et ses couture patterns. Has anyone tried them? I haven't. I haven't. Is that a French, like from France, pattern company, or is she Canadian? Do you know? Hi, Betsy. It's all good. All good. Um, Christine also loves ironing. You are weirdos, the two of you. Although people laugh at me because I love doing dishes. I don't have a dishwasher. Um, Ever since I moved with hubby and our family blended, so there were two adults and six children living here at one time, and we never had a dishwasher. And I really don't mind doing dishes. I really don't. I usually have my iPad to the side, catch up on YouTube videos or watch Netflix, and I get to relax for an hour while I do dishes. I really, really don't mind it. And yeah, all my kids think I'm a weirdo because when they were younger and still living at home, they would have to take turns doing dishes and they really hated it. Fuchsia also loves ironing. It's meditative. Okay. Yes, Diane. Yeah, I don't mind. And I actually like pressing as I sew. Absolutely. But it's so much easier, right? It's really a lot easier to sew a side seam when the other side seam is not sewn up yet or when the garment's not completely finished. Erin says, "Boo ironing. I'll steam if I'm feeling motivated and iron if I'm not, if I'm going somewhere nice." Yeah, I have a steamer and that's what I use to just to get the bigger wrinkles. Or one thing I also do if I need to iron something to go to work, I hang it in the bathroom with me while I shower. And my showers are really, really hot, so the bathroom gets really steamy, and that's usually enough to get the bigger wrinkles right out of those clothes, and that's it. I'm ready to go. Sula says, "I love ironing my clothes, even my undies. I hate doing alterations, would rather sew a whole outfit." My grandmother, my mom's mom, still to this day irons her towels, her sheets, her pillow covers. Like, she irons everything, and I'm like, "Okay, I've never ironed my sheets ever, or my towels." But yeah, I mean, and she doesn't mind it. It's all good. Barbara says, "I iron clothes, don't mind altering clothes as well, but hate doing zippers." Yeah, hubby has, like, an anorak type jacket for the spring, and he broke the zipper on it at the end of the season last year, and he asked me to fix it for him, and I said no. So he went to a seamstress, and he had to pay to get it done because I just no, I'm not doing that. Diane says, "I frequent creative reuse stores that specialize in craft items." Oh, I didn't even know those things existed. That's cool. That's really cool. Susan says, I remember my mom ironing face cloths. Yes. After each fold, as she folded them into small squares. My grandmother does that still. Yeah. I think it's Canadian, but I have to check again. Okay, cool. I mean, if it's Canadian, I'll definitely go have a look at it. And yeah, curious now. Face cloth. Yeah. Yep. Christine says, those jeans I just hemmed, I brought to alteration shop. I was going to be $35. You have to be kidding me. Glad they pay a living wage, but yeah, yeah, no kidding. My goodness. Erin says, booted dishes too. Maybe I'm just not much of a housekeeper. No, but you know what you are though, Erin? You are a runner, and that blows my mind. So if you all are not following Erin, first of all, you should. Her channel is really, really nice. She's funny, she's sweet, but she also trains and she runs. And yeah, yeah, I have so much respect for full-time mom who also finds the time to sew and do YouTube and run. You're amazing. Pamela, my grandmother ironed her sheets too. It must have been a thing back then. And I don't know if it's because I'm guessing back in the day, the fabric must have been all cotton or linen and it wrinkled a lot more. Like there's a lot of polyester in our sheets now. Um, Mind you, mine are bamboo. They wrinkle a lot and I couldn't care less. Like really. Christine says, iron your pillowcase and you might change your opinion on ironing sheets. Really? Really now? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Pamela doesn't love ironing or doing dishes. Bye, Pamela. Thank you so much for joining. You have a creative reuse at Concordia University. Get out of town. All right, I have to go check that out now. Next time I'm downtown, I need to go see that. I have time to run since I'm not doing dishes or ironing anything. You're funny. All right, Sherry has to leave. Have a great weekend, Sherry. Nice. All right, well, we've been at this for almost 53 minutes now. Hold on, let me catch up with the chat one more time. Everyone, for homework, iron your pillowcase and let us know next live if you notice a difference. Good shout, Christine. You know what? I think I will. Hubby usually washes the sheets or does all the bedding on Mondays. So Monday, when he does the bedding, I'll grab those pillowcases out of the pile and iron them before I put them on my bed. And I'll report back. Susan says, my mom grew up with the non-electric iron that she kept hot on a wood stove. So when she got electric, she thought it was so amazing and fast. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Better yet, Dougie iron pillowcases. Yeah, he doesn't. No, no. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I had an amazing time. I can't believe it's almost been an hour already. This has been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I so enjoyed the chat and you all chatting together. So definitely join me again next month when we do this for the first Friday of April. And meanwhile, yeah, look out for my video on Tuesday where I basically edited my wardrobe in preparation for spring summer sewing, and I was a little bit ruthless. So I thought I would share that with you, and that's coming out on the channel on Tuesday. So have yourself a great rest of your weekend. Have fun. Hopefully you'll get some sewing in, and I will see you, quote unquote, on Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.